You're going to learn the simplest ways to shallow out your downswing. But I'm also going to reveal a very important thing that if you do not do, you are going to get worse. So what is shallowing out the downswing? In essence, it's delivering the club on a shallower angle of attack, meaning the way it might look from front on, it's more of a sort of V shape, meaning that we sort of come in steep and come back out. The better players, the swing is more shallow. It's more of a subtle U, a semicircle, okay? Too many people will be steep in this manner. The upper body will dominate and that over the top kind of swing will happen. We hit those fat shots, or we end up scooping, or we kind of have that slice and lunge, and that's being upper body dominant. We don't really want that, okay? We want to try and have a shallow delivery from here that we can then turn on the power. I have a quick public service announcement. If you try and shallow out your downswing and you don't rotate through the ball, you are going to hit bad golf shots, and you won't know why. You end up getting stuck more and more behind here because you're trying to shallow. But this isn't necessarily the problem. It is the fact that you're not rotating through to square that face up, to make sure that you've got the room, okay? This is something that most people completely ignore. The other issue is we can end up having too much tilt this way because we're stuck. So we've shallowed, right? We've done the shallow move. We're allowed that club to tip down here. The shaft is pointing over there. You think, great, I've shallowed, right? What do I do from here? Well, I'm sort of stuck again, so I'm going to kind of tilt this way. The body tilts to try and get the hands back there. Or I do end up coming over the top a little bit that way. So I'm shallowing and I'm coming over the top. And that's where the kind of weird shots come from, okay? If any of this is resonating with you, let me know below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you like the video, beep, just hit that like button. I'm going to give you a couple of keys that you can do to get open through the ball if you're struggling. But first, I want to hand it over to my friend Troy at Hitting It Solid. He's helping out with this video, and he's got a couple of really great feels and drills that you can do even at home to help that shallowing.
Thanks, Alex. Troy from Hitting It Solid here. Let's get you shallowing out your downswings. I want to make it as easy as possible for you, and this works regardless of whether you have a short backswing or a long backswing. Get those hands a little bit deeper and you'll find that you're already in a great area with your club to be able to shallow it on the way down. There's no manipulation required. So that's the first step. Now, the second step to shallowing out your downswing is getting that wrist flatter at the top of the backswing. Now, the beauty about this is if you get your hands, like I said in the first part, a bit deeper, that lead wrist will naturally get flatter. So what I want you to have it looking like is as you go to the top, got that lead wrist nice and flat, even a tad bowed's okay. I just wouldn't want to see it too cupped like this, because if you get in this area here, again, you've got to do a lot more work to shallow out that downswing. And as always, making it simple, get that lead wrist flat with those hands a bit deeper, and you're in the right spot here to make shallowing really easy. And again, if you've got that shorter backswing, again, doesn't matter, even if you go to there somewhere, as long as you get that lead wrist flat, the shallowing part will be much easier for you. So I hope that helps you out. Any questions or comments, post them down below. Back to you, Alex.
I hope you like those tips from Troy. Give them a try. And I'm just going to give you one more. I want you to try this, okay? Get up out your chair, take your lead arm, just tuck your right hand, your trail hand underneath it right by the elbow. Make a little backswing, okay? Everything's very soft here. But what we're going to do, as we make a transition back towards the ball, I want you to feel that the arm is actually still going back a little bit as you make the move, okay? The golf swing is always in motion. We're always trying to have it flowing. And the more we can have that flow, the more natural it's going to be, and you're going to get that natural shallowing, okay? So it can be this kind of feeling as we get to the top, the lead arm is actually pulling across the chest just a little bit more as our sort of energy moves back down to get through. So it's going to look something like that. Try it with the club, and you can see from down here, okay, we are doing that sort of feel. And you can see that the club just sort of drops a little bit here, okay? But the key is we now have to rotate, 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 and clear the hips out the way, clear the core out the way. And there's a few ways you can do that if you're physically able. One is to feel like you're pushing the lead leg sort of back, because those dynamic forces. We have a really cool video using some cardboard, and I'll link that below. That will give you the sensation like this, but it's a little bit athletic, okay? And what we're trying to do is clear the core, right? A really good feel is to feel like the core is rotating through this way. So now we have shallowed out using either one of Troy's or that move. We're a little bit shallower here, but look, we're going to get stuck unless we turn, 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 turn. See that? My belt buckle is pointing towards the flag, my target. My chest is a lot more open. If you haven't already checked out our free series that are available on the website, all you have to do is go to theartofsimplegolf.com/free for your own premium series for every department of your game. To be able to get open and through the ball a lot easier, all you have to do, especially if you're a senior golfer or you're struggling for speed, and even in fact it's a wonderful way to just play anyway, is move the lead foot back just a couple of inches. And what that's going to do is sort of preset your openness, so you don't have to work as hard to clear yourself out the way. So if you like the shallow feeling move, okay, if you like the fact that you're having this sort of delayed feel and you're having that shallow angle of attack from here, and it's helping you stop coming from the over the top, but you're still hitting those bad shots because you can't get, open enough, just try pulling this lead leg back. It's going to give you a lot more sort of freedom, especially if you're limited in movement, okay? You're still going to be able to hit the solid shots. It's just the same, but you can get through with just a little bit more ease. I said there was an alternative to shallowing, or at least trying to shallow so much if you can't get open. What are those keys? I'm going to show you. We are going to start to feel like the swing is really ground-based. It's not so much trying to manipulate the hands, okay? We're not trying to contort the body. We're just going to have flow and freedom. And it's going to be a couple of factors. We're going to feel like the swing starts from the feet, right? Momentum is always going to be our friend, just like as if you were throwing an object, okay? It's going to shallow out the club plenty, and it's going to stop you being so upper body dominant. So we start the swing with the feet. We start on the way back, we throw the club back this way, okay? And then when we get towards the top, we're going to sort of catch the weight of this club. We're going to catch it, and we're going to start the downswing with our feet again, with flow. We're going to start with our feet again. Now, if you think, well, I can't really fire the body, I can't do any of that, fine. Let's just open up the feet just a hair. But we're going to have still the feet and the flow. These arms are feeling very heavy, okay? And I'm delivering the club this way, right? I'm delivering the club not with big rotation, not with big turns. I'm just allowing the club to swing backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. I could do it all day long. And it is shallowing out plenty. My angle of attack, my swing shape. Do you remember the swing shape we talked about earlier? We don't want it to be a V, we want it to be a U. That's all we're trying to trace. I want you to feel you're not rolling the hands this way. What happens when people think, oh, I want more flow in my swing? They end up sort of rolling the arms this way. We end up doing that. We want to try and feel like the forearms and the palms almost are pointing down a little bit. So we're just a little bit steeper on the way back. A little bit steeper on the way back. Just the arms are moving, and we catch it and swing through. And I promise you, when you start feeling like you're brushing a little bit more, okay? When you're feeling like you're just brushing a little bit more, you will get those strikes and it won't feel anywhere near as much effort. So that's it. I'm absolutely tuckered. I hope you enjoyed that. I tried to be as precise, but give you enough information, but some really key points. And thanks for Troy from Hitting It Solid for those drills that he gave you. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you haven't already, subscribe.